Yeah. What's fucking happening, lad? Talk to me, let's do it. Who's here? Oh my god. I'm getting gassed out, man. Oh. I just drank too much water, eh? What's happening? Let's get into it. Great, we already got everybody here, I love it. It's Monday, so it's gonna be a bit, it's true, actually it's Tuesday, I'm talking shit. Oh, papi. It's gonna be a bit louder, but it's okay. I'm drinking beer, shouts to you. Hope you're good to see you. Bay Area, California, checking in. Shouts to everybody in the Bay Area. Horror scene again, snapping in life. How's it going? It's going great, man. Day 4, marathon stream sessions. I'm feeling great, bro. I'm feeling great. Had a great day yesterday, gonna have a great day today. Let's make it a good one. Let's get straight into it. Aki, good to see you. I need to find a good place. Stu, it's always a pleasure. All right, what up? First, let's get into it. Powerful business is about to go down, man. It's the month. It is the month. The most powerful words are about to get spoken. Did you release your Indie Pack movie yet? Nah, brother. The thing is, I'll give you an update on the Indie Pack, eh? I'm waiting till I gave myself a timeline. On Thursday, this Thursday, I will release the trailer if no one gets back to me. So if no one gets back to me by Thursday, I'm putting a big red line through all of the names and uploading the trailer saying fuck this shit. Let's go. I might have lost 1200 USD. Advice on how to cope. Cope how you cope before you have the 1200 USD. So that should be up Thursday. And if it's not up on Thursday, then it's still good. You know what I mean? How not to lose weight during Ramadan. I mean, I think it'd be hard. Depending on your lifestyle, eh? It depends on the lifestyle, because if you use Ramadan as an excuse to do fuck all during the day and then binge at night, well then yeah, you probably won't gain weight. You probably won't lose weight, you know what I mean? But like if you're keeping the same active lifestyle and trying to train and do everything you usually do, and you know, the regular time, you're not trying to maneuver your lifestyle too hard to fit the parameters of Ramadan, then it might be hard, you know what I mean? So, but technically you could definitely not lose weight. Like I haven't lost any weight, but it's only been 4 days, but you know, I've been eating a lot of food, but my schedule's always been the same anyway. The cops never check me out in alleys, bro. Now then, lad, good to see you. Let's keep it moving. Shouts to everybody on the stream today. It's good to see you all here again. Don't sulk, always bolt. Great. If I did Ramadan, I'm pretty sure that's how it would go. Late night pizzas and shit. Yeah, bro. I mean, some people turn into hermits during Ramadan just because they just turn into a fucking hermit. Now, I'm not about turning into a hermit. I'm about living your life the way you were living it before, just not eating and drinking. You know what I mean? That's the whole, you know, that's it. You know, so if you do that, and you're trying to go to bed early, you're trying to wake up and say, it's kind of hard to gain, it's kind of hard, it would be hard for most people to maintain weight unless you're actively, you know, really putting down the food. Because most cunts, man, they just have dinner, it's a bit more than usual, but it's not the same as having 3 square meals or 4 square meals, you know what I mean? My washing machine broke with my clothes in and now I have to use an old t-shirt to dry myself after showers. It's okay, bro, everyone's been there, man. You don't need a washing machine, dude. You need soap, you need a sink, and you need a drying rack. What up, lad? What up? You're the definition of a morning person. I'm a definition. Like, I don't even. What defines a morning person, man? You know what I mean? Can't say they're not morning people. It's like you just need to try. You know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, how can you not be a morning person, dude? Watching Maven from Juro. Shouts to Maven. Yeah, I've been watching Maven, dude. Shouts to everybody who bought a t-shirt yesterday. I appreciate it. I sent him off too. The Lightning Fabric's on its way. You're about to get blessed. Can I join Tamas? The thing is, it costs hell money to go skydiving, brother. It costs hell money. And the thing is, I wouldn't even pay to go skydiving once. Like, if I was going to spend the money to go skydiving, I would tee it up with Tamas so I got my license. Because, you know, I've seen how Tamas goes skydiving. It's sick, man, because like with your license, he skydives all around the world, and it would just be a mad hobby to just travel, but you know, and pay money to do jumps all around the world. It's like a little community. Who else is here? Speak up. Sounds killer. Yeah, it is killer. It is killer. I mean, last time, where did I see him sky? I think last time I was in San Francisco a few years back, and he was there. He was traveling through America, and he was doing all sorts of jumping. He was at the fucking Oakland Wind Tunnel and all sorts of shit, man. The gluten stuff, yeah, you can get different types of gluten because they fry it. You know, it comes plain. It comes in sauce. You know, I usually like to get it plain, unfried, and then chuck it in whatever I want to chuck it in. And that's what I did. So last night I did the same thing. I chucked in some baked beans. It's soaked up, literally, man. You pour out a can of baked beans and you put it with gluten. Literally, there's no sauce left because the gluten's absorbed it. It is a sponge in food format. Dude, I love John North. You know what I mean? I love John North. I've always loved John North. I'll never stop loving John North. I mean, it's tragic what happened to him with his heart and stuff, but you know, he's still back at it, brother. Tips for traveling alone with the goal of connecting with new people. I think that's, you know, you can stay at a hostel. You can stay anywhere, brother. Like, the hostel thing's chill because you're hanging out, like, you're just in rooms with other people, you know what I mean? But you don't have to stay at a fucking hostel, you know what I mean? And you can basically, it just depends what you do, bro, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to connect with people, it's just dependent on your actions when you're traveling, brother. Like, if you want to connect with cunts who love to get pissed and do the whole piss up thing, well then, yeah, chill at spots where cunts do the piss up thing. If you want to hang out with the tourists, well then go do the tourist thing. If you want to, you know, hang out with the locals, then do the local thing, you know? The fast is going amazing. My money and buying and spirit are completely aligned. No BS. I just came home from a long bike ride. I never pushed myself harder before in my life. Natural EPO, yeah. Yeah, bro. Shouts to the fast. I mean, my fast is going. Shouts to your fast. You know, my fast is going great too. Shouts to if you're fasting for Ramadan, let me know. If you're not fasting for Ramadan, let me know. If you bought a t-shirt, let me know. Let me know what you had for breakfast. Let me know what you had for dinner. Let's get the comment section booming. Let's have a great stream. My bro got scammed on Airbnb, turned up to Amsterdam and the place didn't exist. 10 of them, no place to stay. Yeah, I mean, I've never been scammed on Airbnb. It's always been good for me, brother, but it's fucked how they can do that. That's a beautiful situation, eh? Finding yourself in Germany, talking to a trainee from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. You know, that's a blessing. Shouts to you, Matt Dillon. I shipped that off. Shit, I kissed that yesterday. I shipped that off, brother. Jack Barker, shouts to you, brother. I blessed that. I saw the email this morning. Shouts to you, dude. I'm going to kiss that shit and send it off to you today. You're a great man. I not ate much, had an operation on my nose Friday, got no appetite. I mean, shout outs to you for being a Muay Thai fighter, brother. I never had a problem either. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Problems come up. Appreciate it. Good luck with Ramadan, dude. Shouts to you, mother. I hope you're well. I'm never redeeming myself with no Cliff Bar challenge. Fuck the Cliff Bar challenge. Fuck eating challenges. You know, fuck that. How do you know when to question your lifting/bodybuilding coach? All the time, brother. You know, that's what your coach is for. Your coach is there to answer questions. You know what I mean? The thing is about coaching is like, it's not a permanent, they're meant to inform you. Like, coaching sometimes can be like training wheels. Like, you put the training wheels on, you use the training wheels for a while. Once you feel like you're ready to ride off and fly on your own, you do that. And that's what a good coach does. And a good coach promotes questions. So if you feel like you're in an environment where your coach is not that's not blossoming, like you feel like it feels weird when you ask a question, or you feel like he's shutting you down when you ask a question, then you're not with the right coach, brother. You know what I mean? Because a coach doesn't want to have you under their wing their whole life. They want to, you know, give you the answers, give you the tools, and then they want to fuck you off and let you move on, because that's what a good coach does. So if that's not being promoted, then it's not the correct coach. Opinions on the education system. I think the education system's phenomenal. I think it's also equally fucked up. Now, the education system, there's so many forms of the education system. You know, you got school, you got university, you got fucking Kumon. You know, you got online. You know, like, there's so much of it, bro. Do I think the education system is kind of like mass indoctrination? Yeah, I think it is. But there's also plenty of other things in the education system that I like. You know, the education system for me served me benefits in areas like discipline, like showing up to class, you know what I mean? Like, a big thing for me was problem solving, like out of all interacting too, like being in class with new people, you know what I mean? Feeling like a bit insecure, like in a new bunch of people. But problem solving was a big thing for me, brother. Like, I went to university, and the only thing I learned in university was I had this one class with this Jewish dude who ended up getting kicked out because he yelled at a girl who asked to go to the toilet, and we just did like 6 weeks on problem solving, and it was revolutionary. And it just made me think, like, 90% of the shit I deal with all the time is just problem solving. I want to do something and I can't, and I need to work it out. How do I backtrack? You know what I mean? I watched the new Alien movie, brother. It's okay. I watched it. It's okay. It's better than Prometheus. I tell you that. Go see it. Parents need to help their kids along, not pushy, like, but keep an eye. Yeah, correct. You know, I think, well, it's hard, bro, because we live like, it's hard. I hate to use the word indoctrinated because it's such a heavy word, and cunts will think I'm talking about like some Manchurian candidate, mind control, Katy Perry type shit. But, you know, like, if your mum's indoctrinated, she's just going to do the best she can, which is indoctrinate you, which is just generational indoctrination, you know what I mean? So that goes on for generations and generations, but it only takes one cunt to break the cycle, man. And then you can just do it to your next kid and your next kid, and the kid does it to his kid, and it just breaks the cycle for future generations, man. Cleans up the bloodline. Because I've seen some parents before and say, shit, you're not fit to be a parent. Abdul, I really start making videos, but I get such paralyzed state when go outdoors with my camera set up. I think I might start off my smartphone and just get the confidence. Yeah, brother, you can do that. You can start with your smartphone, you know, but if you got a good camera, man, and you want to use that camera, the only way you're going to get the confidence is by doing it, and you keep doing it until the thing is, you have to accept the fact that you're nervous about it. Like, you have to accept the fact that when you pull out the camera at the start, that you're going to be nervous and you'll probably fuck up. But the only way you overcome that is by doing, you know what I mean? So you're going to stand there with your camera. It's about to start raining. You're going to stand there with your camera. You're going to fuck up in front of everyone, and you're just going to keep recording until you get it right, man. And the more times you practice that, and the more times you go through it, and the more times you breathe, and the more times you accept it, before you know it, man, you know, it's going to be easy for you. It's going to be automatic. The thing I tell myself is, brother, that there's nothing weird about this. This is 21st century. I look down the lens like I'm looking at the person I'm talking to. You know what I mean? So that's it. I'm sending a message. Like when I'm looking at the camera, I look down the lens. I'm not looking at myself. That's a big no-no. Don't get a camera with a viewfinder. Don't be one of these fuck boys who are always looking up at themselves. You don't want to do that. You want to look down the lens and you want to address the people you're addressing, and it makes it more simple, man. Shouts to Paddy Mayher, man. I appreciate it, brother. It was like the bike turned into perfect craft violin for my legs. It became the bow striking 10 each to stroke. Use my breathe as the conductor. Fasting towards control. You know, I do like that aspect of fasting. I feel very in control, brother. I feel very in control. I feel very clear. Now, I'm not going to fast any other month than Ramadan, but I tell you what, you know, it shows you a lot sometimes. Just graduated, planning on a big post-grad trip. Country recommendations, never been to Europe or East Asia. Both, you know what I mean? Both, brother. Now, if I'm thinking of you as the right person, you live in New York, yeah? Well, Europe's vastly going to be different to that anyway, bro. And the good thing about Europe is there's so many different cultures spaced within a short distance of each other. So, you know, that could be good, and Asia could be good. It's just whatever you can afford and whatever's cheaper and whatever you can do, brother, make it happen. Yeah, my camera screen doesn't flip screen anyway. Yeah, that's the best thing. That's a blessing for you, bro. You don't want to have to look at yourself when you film a video, man. Just don't do it. It's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it, eh? Because then you become preoccupied with how you look. Did I smile? Did I look fat? You just want to hit record. You want to become the master of the one take, man. You want to become the master of the one take, especially if you're trying to do a vlog, especially if you're trying to do something like that. I mean, it's not Hollywood, bro. You know what I mean? One take king, and hold yourself to that. And if you start holding yourself to that, especially when you fuck up, you'll gain a level of confidence that you didn't have before. I mean specific countries within Europe or Asia. You know, I'm not too versed up on Europe, bro. I'm not too versed up on Europe. But I can tell you, you want to get as far away from New York culture as you possibly can, even though I'm not even sure, because there might be so many cultures within New York that's going to be hard to do. You know what I mean? Like, but, you know, Asia's great, man. You got Thailand, you got Hong Kong. I mean, you got everything, bro. I mean, you got Vietnam, you got Thailand. There's literally, you can do everything. You got Singapore, you know, China, everything. So, I mean, they're all good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing the UK, bro. Like when I go to the UK, like it's cool when I go to the UK. It's fucking raining hard, man. It's cool when I go to the UK, bro, because like I got mates in the UK, and you know, but it does feel, I don't feel like I'm that far away from what I'm usually doing. But that's the same wherever I go, but it does still feel like very Australian, because I guess we're the baby of the UK anyway, man. So, but when I'm in Bangkok, or when I'm in Hong Kong, or when you're in, you know, when you're in Italy, or when you're somewhere like that, you feel like fuck, like, you know what I mean? I don't understand. Like I'm using Google Translate to rent a scooter. You know, I'm using Google Translate to order my rice noodles. You know, and you feel like you're getting the full experience. So don't go somewhere where they speak English, man. That's key. Why is my pee yellow? It could be because a lot of things, brother. Sometimes I'm hydrated, I eat too much yeast, and my piss is yellow. You know, sometimes I'm dehydrated, my piss is yellow. You know, sometimes I eat too much fortified B12 cereal, and my piss is yellow. Why is the sky blue? That's exactly right, man. Am I ever going to document Jess's place of birth? Probably not, brother. Probably not. You watching macros at the moment, lad? Not really, brother. You know what I mean? First day of Ramadan, I kind of semi-counted a little bit just to see what I was eating, and then see how I felt the next day. But nothing crazy, man. You know what I mean? I'm just eating until I full. Like last night, I probably would have ate too much food, you know. But I was hungry, bro. I was hungry. You probably be able to get frozen durian somewhere in the UK, bro. I'm not sure if you're going to get fresh durian, but you definitely be able to get frozen durian. That's for sure. Shouts to Bangkok. Bangkok's a great city, man. Shouts to my old man, he lives in Bangkok City. I just love it, man. I just think it's just a combination of everything. I think it's a combination of how busy it is. I think it's a combination of how much shit you can do and shit you can't do. I mean, like, it literally can be as busy as you want. It can be as calm as you want, depending on where you stay. It's cheap as fuck. Literally so cheap, man. For all of us coming from, like, I don't know, if you're coming from the US, London, or Australia, which the majority of us are coming from, literally, it's chump change, man. It's chump change. Newton's Law, it's so much better without, man, because you just take a deep breath, you let go, and you start talking. You know, that's the key of not having, literally, the flip screen is the cancer of making videos. It is the cancer, man. Unless you're like a filmmaker, videographer, cinematographer, unless you're actually filming somebody else, then it's different. What keeps me motivated? Number one, brother, I mean, by default, I think motivation's, when I think about it in my own life, bro, I feel like if my awareness is on the level that I want it to be at, and I feel, you know, they're linked. Like, I'm aware of how unique the gift of life is. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of how lucky I am to be living in this body and have the name they call me, Abdullah. I'm aware of that. So when I stare at myself in the mirror, I'm humbled by my reflection, bro, and I'm equally G'd up by it. Like, I go to myself, I say, holy fuck, man. Like, the world's so full of fucking distractions that you didn't even notice that it's been you the whole time. You know what I mean? And it gets me raw. It gets me G'd, man. It gets me, like, I'm just like, how can I never have a pep in my step? You know what I mean? Like, this is an unreal experience. You're living in the best video game possible. That is the ultimate motivation. Anything beyond that is fake. It's a sense, it's fleeting. It's an emotion that will come and go and you can't rely on it. It's like this bullshit motivation, eh? You know what I mean? Your life's motivating. Your individuality is motivating, man. And it's also humbling. You know what I mean? So I never get down no more, brother, because once you realize the gift that you've been given, how can you get down? Because you're always winning. You've always won, man. You know what I mean? You've never lost. Do you have a fear of death, or you just like, fuck it, man? I don't have a fear of death no more, brother. Like, I fear dying. It's weird, man. The thing is, I mean, I don't have a fear of death, man, simply because I believe in more than just life on earth. You know what I mean? I feel in a higher connection. I feel like that there's just more going on than what I've been told. You know what I mean? And that kind of broke the wall of the fear of death for me. And I'll tell you what, once you most people live in fear of death all the time, and it does a lot of things for them, bro. Like, most people, when I think about it, who live in fear of death 90% of the time, they're usually prisoners of time, brother. They're usually prisoners of time. You know what I mean? The universe has a tight hold on them, bro, and they're very conscious of time. It doesn't feel like that. Once you're aware, I feel like when I thought about death and I really felt like I came to terms with my own death and contemplating my life on a hardcore level every day. Once I got over that, bro, I feel like time opened up for me, man. Like, I started to realize that what is time? You know what I mean? Like, I felt like my life became one big experience, and it was just experience to experience, strung out, you know what I mean? And the days almost started to blend themselves. I forgot how old I was. I forgot when my last birthday was. I forgot when I graduated, you know what I mean? But when I was very stuck in just like, I don't know, indoctrinated style of thinking, you know what I mean? Like, one life, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like start line. I don't know, brother, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was different, man. I was very aware of the time. I'd be like, it's Tuesday. I'm Abdullah. I'm 23. These are my clothes. This is the way I talk. You know what I mean? Bulgra, you know, you say one more word, bro, I'm gonna block you. You know what I mean? Straight up. I drank too much coffee this morning to for the fuck off, lad. Fuck off, well, oh, that's it, man. You done, brother, you done. You have a cool perspective on life, man. I'm just one of those fears. I'm trying to get trying to just go for a little bit more, man. You know what I mean? Shouts to you, brother. What do you mean by a little bit more? What do you feel like's holding you back, man? How long after you found Uber Eats did you sign up? Did you take to do your first delivery? Literally the same day, bro. Once I got the backpack, I turned my app on, I got a delivery within 10 minutes. I saw your profile today. You accumulated mad Ks. Hey, are you talking about, yeah, I did that 100K shift the other day. Well, that was actually over 2 shifts. I just forgot to turn my Garmin off, man. That bag of weed's still sitting at my house, bro. I don't really smoke weed, so I probably won't smoke it. Bantam already, shouts to you. I love it. Let's keep going with the questions, man. I'm loving it. Only thing I fear is being a fat cunt. Shouts to you, brother. I don't really fear, like, I'm not scared that I used to be scared that I get fat and no one would love me. You know what I mean? But I'm not scared of that, bro. The only thing I'm scared of is, I'm not really scared of it, bro, because I'm in total control, you know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't get fat because I'm not worried about getting fat that so other people would think I'm a fat cunt and not love me. I'd be worried to get fat because I'd feel like I'd be mistreating the one body I've been given, you know what I mean, in this life, you know. So, and the thing is, your body's like if you think about your body, man, you know, really assess your body, man. Like when you dry your head in the shower after you have a shower and you touch your ears and shit, feel it, lad, you know what I mean? Like, feel it and be amazed by it. Like, my girlfriend cut her hand on a fucking can the other week, got hell stitches, and it's already healed. Her cut's already healed. How can I get fat, man? Her cut's already healed. How can I not be fit? Her cut's already healed. How can I not train? The human body is a phenomenal machine. How can you disrespect it like that? You know what I mean? You got to be ready, dude. I'm doing a lot of Uber Eats, brother. I'm pushing t-shirts for 1 month and I'm doing Uber Eats, you know? Am I delivering today? I probably won't deliver today, bro, because I'm probably going to film with Eddie today. So I won't do it today, but you know, 6 days a week for me is enough, bro. What was it like to meet Joey D? It was like meeting any other cunt you ever meet, bro. I mean, Joey D's a good human. It was great to catch up with him, bro. He's a good man. And he treated me like, you know, I knew when you hang out with someone like that and they treat you good like that and they make you feel like, you know, you really feel like you're part of the family, so it's cool. There's a reason you feel that fear, bro. You know what I mean? There's a reason why you have that burning feeling in the back of your mind like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. And that's there because you're conflicted spiritually, morally. You know that you should be doing something else. So you just got to start acting on it, bro. I'm not saying drop your whole fucking 40-hour-a-week job and go live in the Cancun and live off a boat and do water sports for a living. But I'm saying, like, you need to actively work towards what you want to be doing, bro. You know? Because that fear will keep you complacent, man. It keeps most people complacent, brother. You know, most people we live in a world which gets you so scared and so scared of everything that it locks you into a 40-hour-per-week job because you're scared of what's on the other side of that if you don't do it. You know, we crave security, man, to like the next level, man. They try and sell you this sense of security which is false, and it gets you stuck in a certain position. Like, I want to do that, but I'm scared what would happen if this happened. It's like, we're never going to know till you try, man. We try and reverse engineer the situation like 10 steps in front, you know what I mean? Like, what if I make that move, then what's going to happen with that move, and what's going to happen with that move? Who cares, man? It's like they try and sell you security, man, but it's like mass level indoctrination type shit, man, because it's so hardwired into the way you think, like on so many different levels, man. Like, I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Because like they try and dull it down for you that everything's so clear cut that it's just like, when I think about my life in a sense, man, I know this might sound weird to some of you, but when I think about my life in a sense, it just seems so surreal to me, almost like I'm living in a video game. That I don't need the security. Like I'm my own security. You got a motto to live by, it is what it is. But life good, mate. Need to stop living through your vids, eh? Like you said the other day. I don't want you to live through my videos, brother. I would honestly think of myself as a cancer if you lived through me. You know what I mean? That's like my eyes 10 steps in front of my feet type shit. I don't want you to do that because I've done it before and I know how it feels, bro. I know how it feels to watch someone every day and feel like your life's not good as him. And then I've been on the other end of it when I've been with these people and been like, wow, your life's so fabricated, bro. And look at this toxic relationship. You make your life seem so fabricated because you want people to love you, and in turn it makes other people not love themselves, love you and start living through you. It's just the most fucked up cycle, man, that keeps cunts on the hamster wheel. You know what I mean? You want to get cunts appreciating their own life, man. That's what you want. You want to get people empowered to stare in the mirror. You want to get people empowered to look 10 steps in front and bring it back to 10, like right below. Like, look at your fucking feet. You want to get people empowered to dry their ears and go, fuck, I got some nice ears, man. And take 10 deep breaths. Dude, Will Grand, yeah, but the thing is, brother, you're alive, lad. You're alive, man. I'm not saying you should be content, man. If you can't you know, one can't say if you can't be content now, you'll never be fucking content. That's true. It doesn't mean you're complacent. It doesn't mean you don't want to change. But if you don't acknowledge the blessing that your fucking life is right now, you're never gonna acknowledge it, bro, and you're never gonna be satisfied. What you're saying is great because you want to move out of the current position you're in, but at the same time, it's equally as toxic, man. Because that's what keeps cunts on the hamster wheel. The feeling like they're not good enough, the feeling like that they're never gonna be satisfied, the feeling like the car's not good enough, the feeling like their position's not good enough, and they got to keep going. You know, the hungry but never satisfied type shit. No, it's like satisfied, but I want to improve. I just want to be the best version of me. I get that feeling that I won't be as successful as other cunts around me. Yeah, bro, but that comes to it. But why do you feel like you need to be better than the next cunt? Why is that important to you, man? The only thing that should be important to you is that you make the most out of the fucking opportunity. And everyone around you is related to you. We're like a bunch of cunts of the same species living in the jungle, man. That is the earth, you know what I mean? I'm your brother, you're my fucking brother. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Random vegans, my brother. Same as Dom does tanks, you know what I mean? Like if we see a bunch of cheetahs in the forest, we call it a family, you know what I mean? But we have a bunch of humans living on the earth, we call them competitors. I want to be better than him, I want to be better than him. You should be striving to be better than you, man. And anyone else. And once you think like that, bro, your blessings will come to you, man. Thoughts on lucid dreaming? I think it's killer, man. You know what I mean? I had a month before where I lucid dreamed literally every night. I think it's phenomenal, man. It's a great feeling, brother. I feel like to lucid dream effectively, continuously, you need to be, I feel like you got to be aligned, bro. I feel like lucid dreaming is a semi-power. It's like a powerful thing, you know what I mean? And every now and again, it can happen by coincidence. But if you want to be the type of cunt who can go to bed and you feel like you can feel it coming on and you bring it on, which is completely doable if you practice and you're in the right state of mind, then you have to be aligned, man, with your actions, with your choices every day, with your intentions, and you'll be able to unlock it, man, and use the power. I mean, it's there. And I think it's useful, man. I've definitely had some powerful shit happen in fucking some lucid dreaming shit, man. The thing is, bro, I was thinking about this the other day when I was on my bike, man. I think people shouldn't live to gain experiences, shouldn't use money to gain them experiences. Bro, the currency is action, the reward is experience. You know what I mean? That's it, straight up. We live in a world where the currency is money and the reward's materials. That's not it is. That's not how it is, man. The currency is action, the reward's experience. You know what I mean? Your currency, in this world, is the way you act. It's the way you treat other people. It's the way you think. The way you think has a direct relation on your actions. That's the currency. No one gives a fuck about anything else, okay? And if you do that, in turn, you do the byproduct of that, which is make money, which gets you the experience anyway. So it's really related to the way you think, the way you perceive the world, the way your internal reflect on the outternal. The outternal, your view on the world, is simply a product of your relationship with yourself and the way you think, man, because that's what projects through your eyes outside. You know what I mean? If you live in the outside in world where it's happening to you like a victim, then yeah, you're a product of that all the time, and it's never going to be good enough. But if you're in the master seat, if you're in control, if you drive the fucking train, you create what you want. It's not some cringy type motivational shit that you see online. Start living like that, you start feeling like that, and you start to actually manifest shit that you want, bro, simply through the action, and you gain the experience that you've always desired, bro. Because ultimately, you're here for one experience only. No one knows what happened before. Don't let someone tell you what they think happened before. Don't let someone tell you what's happening after, bro. But you can't deny the fact that when you say your name, it feels weird. You can't deny the fact that when you see me with a broken arm, you feel bad for me because it looks like it hurts. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, James Joyce, bro. I'm getting goosebumps when you write me that message, dude. And it was an honor to meet you in London, and you know, it made me feel great, bro, because I feel like you know what I mean? I just feel humbled by it, because I'm like, I don't know how you know when you sit back and you think I must have done something right. Like I sit back and think I must have done something right, man. Because how the fuck am I in London right now getting to catch up with a cunt like this and train? You know what I mean? That is priceless. It's worth more. That's something I remind myself of every time I don't feel like I'm good enough. Or I remind myself of like when I feel like I need more. I'm like, what more do I need than to connect with other people, man? Spirituality is the missing link for most people, brother. Most people live with their life blinkers on, man. They don't even acknowledge themselves, brother. There's no connection with you know. And I'm not saying you have to be religious, brother. I'm not saying you have to believe in Allah, fucking whoever you want to believe in, man. But I think to deny your own spirituality is to deny your own right to life, in a sense, man. I think there's a big war going on right now between us as who we are as people and who the world wants us to be, man. You know what I mean? They want to get you disconnected from spirit, because then they can control you, bro. You know what I mean? Our spirit is the connection, bro. It is. 100% it's the connecting. You know, when I didn't acknowledge my own spirit, I did a lot of shit, bro, that was just disgusting. I had a lot of evil intentions. You know, I'd only be on here because I'd want to be famous for my own ego, because it'd make me feel like I'm something in this world, you know what I mean? But when I realized that I am something already, I got nothing to prove, and you're my brother and you're my sister, and I'm not in a fight with you, you know what I mean? I'm not in a fight with you, dude. If here, you know, our biggest contribution to each other is to help each other, uplift each other, get each other to recognize the gift of life that they already own, the individuality that they already own, the uniqueness that they already own that yet haven't embraced. You feel me? And the rest is just an experience, dude. You're here to learn, bro. You're here to learn, straight up. You're here to learn. And if you're not learning, you're throwing away the purpose, man. Emotionally, it turns you off, bro, because you walk on the street. I told this girl the other day when I was talking about it, I said, yeah, bro, when I walk down the street, I feel compelled all the time. You know what I mean? You really got to be a strong motherfucker. All of you guys are strong, bro. You don't realize it. Like, you have to be a strong fucking cunt to walk down this street and have a level of empathy in your step. You got to be strong to walk down the street at 9 a.m. and have a level of gratitude in your step. To have a level of unity in your step, to have a level of connection in your step, because everything's pulling you away from that, dude. There's so many walls in front of you every day, berated in front of you to pull you away from who you are, answering the questions that you want to be answering, bro. We live in a world, bro, it's like you got a broken arm, you go to a doctor, you know what I mean? The doctor says, this is completely natural, bro. Like, it's going to take time to heal. rest up, you know, all these things, bro. I remember the first time I started questioning my own life, I told somebody, said, you should probably go see a naturopath, you should probably go see a psychologist. I went to the psychologist, she was like, you probably should take Xanax. I went to the naturopath, he was like, you should probably stop drinking Pepsi. You're on the edge of the cliff, you're about to die. I was like, I fucking know that, lad. I think social media is a tool, man. I think knowledge is a tool. I didn't even say knowledge, I'm talking about social media. I think social media is a tool. It can be used good and bad. It depends on the user, like most things, bro. It's your relationship with social media. Most people on social media, what they do is they let social media de-empower them versus empower them. They sit there and look at it from a perspective of this like egotistical, non-connected sense where everyone's just trying to one-up everyone because ultimately everyone wants to be loved and they got no self-love. So what they try and do is trying to gain love off others. So it's a constant game of who can make their lives look better. I don't need to make my life look better than you, bro. I already feel like my life's good enough. And why am I trying to make you feel like your life's not good enough? I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not concerned about it. I want you to have the best life you can just as much as I'd want you to want me to have the best life I can. You know? So I don't produce content that makes you feel like you're not good enough. I'm gonna move my camera real quick because it's starting to rain, people. Oh, fuck. We're moving. Fuck, it's wet as, eh? Keep asking the questions. Where are we heading? Where's the shadows? All right, I found somewhere. Did you feel the change in the world? Humans change their minds, eh? I felt a change in the world when I changed my mind because effectively this is like you view the world from your seat, brother. Like, you know when people say you are the universe, you are everyone, you are everything? That's almost true, bro, because you're the one living this experience. It's hard once you change that, the whole world around you changes. People say that if I don't get 20 subs, I'm a loser, and they think they'll make fun of me. Please sub to me. No, I'm not going to do that because, no. You should speak publicly, man. Get a bullhorn, stand on the sidewalk, and just speak your mind. We need to age of some reason with the intellects made the conversation. Shouts to you, brother. Wait, I'm going to move in here real quick because it's getting too chaotic with this rain. I'm going to fight my phone. All right, we're here. Thoughts on flat earth? You know, I don't believe the earth's flat, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is, with flat earth, this is what I always tell people when they ask me about flat earth. I say to them, you know, I don't mind talking about flat earth, because I'm open to the idea that what I've been taught has been wrong my whole life, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I believe in flat earth. I'm just open to have a conversation about questioning the nature of reality. That's completely fine to me. Whether you want to believe the earth's flat or not, I don't really care, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm a fan of questioning, so it's okay. The distractions are in place so you don't ever realize love is the ultimate truth. Even if someone hates something, they still love what they hate. Shout out to you, brother. Your opinion on how do we stop war? I think, bro, that's a big question. How do we stop war? But I think, you know, wars get generated. I think we give consent to war every day with our actions, our mentality, our level of awareness, what we buy, how we speak, the way we treat other people. I mean, we condone war all the time. I think if we came back to a sense of connectedness and oneness with the earth and who we are as people, and realize that we're all brothers and sisters on one big planet sharing one big experience, and you realize that the guy next to you is almost not as far away from you as you think he is, we bring about change in terms of stopping wars. Because we live in a world where, like, you literally feel like you are like, it's weird because you kind of are the epicenter of it, bro, but cunts literally feel like it's just them versus everybody else, not us, them versus everybody else. So you don't really care about a cunt dying in Syria. You only care when, like, the local stadium down the road from you gets blown up because it's 100 meters from your house, that's when you start caring about other human lives, because suddenly it affects your own life. You know what I mean? But if you realize and you were connected on a level where you think like their life is almost the same as my life, then you'd be more riled up about it, and that would be reflected in your actions and everything you do, where you support companies and foundations and industries and practices that promote lack of disconnection, that promote this kind of thinking, which in turn promote war. I don't ever really think about parallel universes, bro, parallel worlds. Are you ever scared that your life is being planned out without you being able to do anything about it? Not really, brother. Not really. Like, I'm never scared about it. I feel like if there's a path for me to walk, the path's only good, man. It's only a good path, eh? I'm trying to lose 30 kilos, but I'm finding that the number on the scale dictate my mental state. But without the scale, I'm crazy because I can't see progress. Advice: well, you got to stop weighing yourself, man. You know, you can't get. Obviously, you're stuck in that cycle where the number's dictating how you feel. That's fucked up. You aren't that number. You know what I mean? You aren't that number, and that number's only a tool. And your relationship with that number should only be used in a tool mindset. Like when you see the number go up, don't get fucking upset. When you see the number go down, don't be overwhelmed with joy. It's just a reference point. Because if you started attaching yourself emotionally to it, well then it's you program that into your mind. So every time it goes down heaps, you become fucking happy, and then then you're gonna program that. If you get on and it goes up and you suddenly get sad and your whole day's fucked up, well then you're gonna program that. You should just be content in general. You know what I mean? And your level of contentness is going to be, you know, embedded with your action on what you're trying to do, you know what I mean? Not just the number on the scale, it's purely itself. Hey, enough of this spam. Come on, lad. You watch any other YouTubers? I watch a whole variety of YouTubers, man. I don't watch just one YouTuber, but I watch heaps of people, man. Like the other day I watched a Brian Turner video. I watched an Eric the Electric video, you know what I mean? Like, what was the other thing I watched, you know what I mean? I watched Joey D video. That's about it, brother. What's the process you took to manifest like-minded friends in your life? I've been reflecting on the quote, your vibe attracts your tribe. The process is, it's building from the inside out. Building from the inside out is everything starts from the framework of your thought, you know what I mean? So like, if you believe in the fact that you can manifest stuff into your life, and you really believe that, it generally gets reflected in your actions, you know what I mean? And actions is the currency, you know what I mean? So like, once you believe it, once you've promoted it in your mind, generally it gets reflected with your actions, which puts you in the position in this world that you're living in to meet the like-minded people. And it always happens like in ways where you don't really see the back end of that, where it's like, oh, I just met a cunt in the supermarket and we were really close friends. You never really think about how that works, but generally it usually stems from a place where you've made a critical decision, whether it be one decision or you've made multiple decisions to get to that spot, you know what I mean? Your spot's only dictated, your current spot in this world, your current state of mind is dictated by every single decision you've ever fucking made. Every single choice, Every single time you've chosen to go left or right has led you to this exact spot. That's all your position is right now. That's all it is, you know. So when you meet people, it's because of that. Spyro, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me, bro. Yeah, block this Spyro, Connor. You know, like, you got some, you know, you can say what you want, brother, but, you know, don't be talking shit. So I'm gonna block you, lad. This is fucking fun. Do I love everyone? I try to, you know what I mean? I try to. You realize the more you love yourself and the more you're accepting of yourself, it opens you up to the ability to love other people, Because if you can't accept yourself, you can't accept people around you. You never, you know, one can't say, like, if you don't have a good, if you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody? It's the same thing with everybody else. If you can't be friends with yourself, if you can't love yourself, the world's never going to be good enough for you. If you can't be content with who you are, you're never going to be content by anything else. So that's what everything stems off, you know what I mean? So I recognize that the more I love myself, the more I love other people. You know what I mean? It's just straight up. The more I'm insecure about myself, the more I'm critical of others. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like a mirror for me. I project my own insecurities onto other people. So when I see people with a massive ego, I'm not sure about my own ego. When I see people who are doing stuff that I'm insecure about within myself, I reflect it on them and I say, oh my God, this cunt's greedy. Oh my God, this cunt's stuttered. You know what I mean? Traveling expands your consciousness because you connect with other people, you know what I mean? If you live in your room your whole life and connect with one frame of mind, one type of person on the same energy all the time, you never get to run into other people, you never get to learn gems, man. The experiences are the teachers, man, you know what I mean? And if you can gain experience from all corners of the planet, all forms of cultures, all forms of the people talking, it gives you a new perspective on life, bro. It kind of unlocks your consciousness on another level, you know what I mean? I don't think it's bad to want to volunteer at a selfish gain. I think it's normal. I think we're programmed to love helping other people. You know, there's a reason why when you help other people, you feel this deep sense of satisfaction. That's within us, and you crave that, brother. You know what I mean? So when you help other people, even if you realize that helping other people makes you feel good, well, it's not a bad thing, brother, because at the same time you're lifting yourself up, you're lifting your brother up. Am I working at the moment? I am, bro. I'm doing deliveries on the bike. I'm also selling t-shirts on these streams. I'm trying to move 2 t-shirts, at least 2 to 3 t-shirts per stream for the next month, and then we're going to go travel and do a series, bro. Someone hit the moderators, hit the spam up. Bro, I'm like an introvert extrovert, and what I mean by that is I used to fear being an introvert, but then I embraced it, you know what I mean? There's things in my life that showed me that silence is key, you know what I mean? You don't always have to open your mouth. I value the words that come out of my mouth, so I understand the power of them, so I'm not spewing shit all the time for no fucking reason, you know what I mean, bro? Like, it's insane to me. I'm so humbled by the words, bro, that I don't feel the need to say them very often. Now, that's weird, because I'm always on here, but what I'm talking about, after I get off this stream, bro, I don't really talk that much, man. And I'm not saying you need to be quiet, but what I'm trying to say is you don't need to be loud to be something. Cunts get into a frame of mind where they think that you need to be loud, like flamboyant, fucking this overconfident, overcompensating human to be noticed. You don't, bro, you know what I mean? You don't at all, and that's not a good place to be in. How do you afford rent from Uber Eats, bro? I can afford rent within one shift, man. My rent per week is like $320. I can earn fucking $180 in one shift if I wanted to. If I rode for 8 hours, I'd earn that money. You know what I mean, brother? So I hold myself to do, like, you know, maybe like 10, 12, 15 shifts a day, just as like a side gig. And that earns me my rent for a week plus eating expenses. And then anything on top of that, I save money, bro. Did you always think this deep about everything, or how did you come about? The thing is, bro, the thing is, I don't think, I think deep thinking, I think critical thinking, I think this, any level of thinking where you question beyond just like, I don't know, black and white type thinking, I think that's embedded within all of us. I think it's just about accepting it, letting go and channeling it, you know what I mean? So I allowed myself to think in a way you might call deep. Now, I don't want to come off as some arrogant cunt, but I allowed myself to do it, bro. When I started to get down that train of thought, I had the courage, which I hope you have the courage, to further that level of thinking. What I mean is, when something bothered me, when I was confronted, when I was conflicted morally, when I didn't understand something about myself, I didn't go get medicated. You know what I mean? I didn't fucking shut them thoughts off. They're bad thoughts, they're bad thoughts. I just realized they're thoughts, you know what I mean? And I gave them power, and I explored them if I wanted to explore them. You know what I mean? And then I realized that all these answers were within me the whole time, but if I open myself up to them, they're gonna be there when I need them, bro. You know what I mean? And that's always served me well, bro, because 9 times out of 10, I realize that when I'm feeling bad, when I don't feel okay, when I'm feeling like I'm compelled, when I feel like I'm conflicted, when I feel like I'm not walking my talk, when I just feel off, when I feel anxious, when my hands sweat, I realize this shit's not happening. I'm not a victim, bro. The world's not happening to me, it's happening with me. What I mean by that is, everything that's happening to me is happening for a reason. So I feel like there's a reason behind it. Now, I'm not the kind who puts a band-aid on shit. I want to work out why, bro, so I can get rid of this feeling, so I can go back to the way I want to feel. You know what I mean? So I work out why. 'Cause I mean, I was doing the Uber thing a couple of days ago, bro, and it started raining. I still do it, bro. I mean, if anything, the orders pick up, man, because cunts don't want to leave their house. Uber's a great job, bro. You know, like, you get to ride your bike around all day and deliver food. It's insane. Bro, why are you scared about what the future holds to you, man? Why are you scared, man? You're a ticking time bomb, bro. What do you have to be scared about? You're here for a brief experience. No one knows what's happening after. What do you have to be scared about? You came out of your mum's vagina, and the day you came out of it, them are on your bomb that's going to explode eventually. What do you got to be scared about? That you're going to be homeless? Why are you scared of that? You came out of your mum's vagina. You're a time bomb. Why are you scared? %, bro. That fear is put into you. You weren't born with that fear. That came to you, brother, and that only came to you to put you on the hamster wheel. You know what I mean? Get you in a position that you don't want to be in. Get you in a position where you feel like you're not good enough. Get you in a position earning money that you don't need to earn to spend on shit that you don't need to spend because you feel like you have to. Junior school was amazing, and after it's like, you know, I was like that too, brother. You know what I mean? I left school and I couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? I left school, I couldn't sleep. I felt like they fucked me. I felt like when I left school, they fucked me hard. You know, at least I had the courage to stand up, brush my shoulders off and say, I'm gonna work out why they fucked me, how they fucked me, and what do I do now? Because when I left school, bro, it was like I was like a train wreck, bro. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know everyone else was getting degrees. I was looking at university. I was looking at photos of my mates becoming lawyers, engineers, and I thought to myself, like, Here I am 2 years after school's finished. I've done nothing. I've dropped out of fucking university 4 times. I've moved houses twice. I'm back with my mum. It's like, what do I do now? Who am I? You know what I mean? But that was the start of my life, bro, not the end of it. It was the beginning, you know what I mean? Because I finally came to the realization, it's like, fuck, man, you know what I mean? Of course you're meant to feel like this. I'm actually blessed enough to feel bad about this. I'm actually blessed enough to have this realization. I'm blessed enough to have, for me to be in tune with it, the fact that I can't sleep no more because my body's aching, brother. It's aching from everything they taught me from 0 to fucking 18. You know what I mean? It's like I thought to myself when I went into this meeting with my teacher advisor, when she told me, she said, Abdullah, what do you want to be? And I said, I don't know. And she frowned on me. I walked out, I told myself, fuck this bitch. Why is she frowning on me? You've told me everything to eat, shit, and study. You told me what to eat. You told me how many times my mum should breastfeed me. Ever since the day that I gained consciousness, I was told what to do, who to be, and the parameters to live by. And now when you want me to set me off, you ask me, what do I want to be? How the fuck do I know what I want to be? You're probably a better person at telling me what I should be than I know what I want to be. You know what I mean? That's like, what the fuck? Like, finally you try and remove the shackles on me and ask me a question. Most cunts are so blind, they operate within the rules. They're going to say, okay, well, there's 5 things I can be, so I'm going to be 5 of those things. And if you don't know that, well, then you become a laborer, become a fucking garbage worker, and you're bottom end feeding. But at least you have your place. If you don't have your place like that, then you're fucked. You know? Like, it's crazy when you think it on such a practical level, man. It was like it's like I can't feeding you this information this whole life, babying you every step. We're preparing you for the next. When you're in year 4, they're preparing you for year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12. The curriculum's decided for you already. The canteen food's decided for you already. How much sport time you get at school's decided for you already. And then in a 10-minute meeting, they ask you, what do you want to be? It's like this defining moment, and most people, this is like the end of most people, bro, because that's when they enter full slave mode, and they go, their perception of reality in the world is been so indoctrinated into them that they see the world that's been painted before them in front of their eyes as like lawyer, doctor, teacher, this. I'm going to be what you want me to be. I'm going to be in this for the rest of my life, and they make that decision. And the moment you feel like you're free is the moment you get trapped forever. You know what I mean? And then everybody else, God help you, lad. You take a gap year. Most cunts take a gap year. But the thing is about gap years, and this is what they tell you about gap years, that is critical when you think about it. If you take a gap year, you're a shit cunt. But if you take a gap year, make sure that you come back 1 year later. Because if you don't come back 1 year later, God forbid, you gain an ounce of free thinking and you never want to come back. That's why everyone who does a gap year goes to Croatia, gets fucked off the back of the boat, and comes back 1 year later because they're scared that they're not going to be able to get doped back in on the system. It's like system doping. We need it as people. And that's what they teach you in Masjid. You come on Monday, you leave on Friday, you get 2 days off. You do the 1 year gap year, you realize how life is so tough without your friends and out your schedule, you come back. They want you hooked on, man. They don't want you to break from it. That's why they call it a gap year, dude. And the gap year is only promoted to go to Europe and get pissed. Should be banned, brother. It's like EPO on the system, lad. %, bro. I mean, that's Voodoo Child. That's a great comment. You know what I mean? You have to ask when to leave to go to the fucking toilet. You know what I mean, brother? You ask to leave to go to the toilet. I remember when I was 17, I had to ask someone to leave to go to the toilet. Like, I had to piss and say, "Sir, can I go take a piss?" Yeah, you're like, you know what I mean? Like, literally, like you with your dog, man. You know what I mean? But your dog has more freedom. You know what I mean? Your dog has more freedom because he just pisses on the floor when it wants to sometimes. You know what I mean? But you can't take a piss on the floor. Oh, teacher, I have to go take a piss. You know what I mean? My mum paid a fucking cunt to allow me to go take a piss. They don't teach you how to learn. They teach you how to receive information, brother. You know what I mean? They don't teach you how to learn. That's what I'm telling you, bro. When I went to university and I did a class on problem solving, it was like, how do you solve a problem? It was revolutionary because they never taught me that, bro. Do I feel successful? Yeah, bro. 100% I feel successful. I feel super successful. What's there not to feel successful about? I'm breathing, man. And I'm not trying to sound cringy, but I'm breathing. That's success. Health is your wealth. Shouts to you, brother. School would be a bit different if they taught you about, like how to problem solve, how to learn, how to improve, seek experience, how to eat good, how to respect your body, how to calm down. I'd be thrusting motherfuckers into the most awkward, stressful situations, and when they're about to have a breakdown, I say, calm down, lad. Let's work on calming down now. How do you feel? How many hours of sleep do you get when you train 5 to 6? I get about 6 hours sleep a night, man. The thing is about reading, brother. The thing is about reading. I'm gonna tell you this, but people start listing Alan Watts and shit. I'm gonna tell you something about reading. Reading is a great tool, but you gotta remember reading is a great tool. Tool is the key word there. Tool. Reading's not the end all be all of your frame and state of mind. You know what I mean? Like it can give you a nudge, and this is coming from someone who doesn't read. You know what I mean? But I still recognize the power of reading. Your reading can give you a nudge, brother. But at the end of the day, if you don't go out and act on it, and you don't go out and experience, and you don't actually go apply it in the real world, it's never going to happen, man. It's never going to stick with you. You'd be one of these dudes who post on Instagram. You end up posting essays that you have no understanding about. You just read it. You thought it was cool. It fluffed your ego a little bit, and you thought like, yeah, I'm better than you because I think I understand more about life than you. Nah, brother. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go out there. There's something to it when you learn this shit for yourself. There's something to it when you say the sentence and it makes sense, and you go, how the fuck did I make sense of that? There's a level of power to that. You know what I mean? There's a level of power to reading it. Fuck, I thought that too. Yeah, Constant Suits talking about the power of now in that sea, bro. Shouts to you. Yeah, brother, that is the problem. I wouldn't want that for you, bro. The thing is, I'm sending a message to myself, brother. I wouldn't want that for myself either. Anything I wouldn't want myself, I want from you. I wouldn't want to be stuck in a book, not living, bro. But being stuck in a book's just like being stuck in a video, man. It's like being stuck on a daily vlog. You know what I mean? It can make you feel good, bro. But I mean, it can make you feel good briefly. Once you go out there and you live in the experience, it stays with you and it makes you feel good for a long time, because suddenly this piece of information came from within you, and it's within you and it stays within you as long as you got a beating heart. You feel me? It wasn't just a piece of information you read made you feel good momentarily, and then you lost faith, you lost motivation, and you moved on to the next book that re-inspired you, and then you made a post saying, big things coming, watch this space. Thoughts on a break away from living vicariously? Well, you start to validate your own life, man. You know what I mean? You start to go experience yourself. There's a trend, brother. Like you said before, you're reading too much. You need to get out there, bro, and you need to appreciate your own life more. Because when you start appreciating that, man, you're not going to be trying and living through vicariously through other people. What you're going to do is, why do you need to live through other people vicariously when you've got the best life possible? You know, you're watching me, bro. I'm not watching you. Like, you are in the driver's seat. You have the best gift at all. Like, think about it in your head. Is it hard? It's hard for you to contemplate. It's hard for you to understand the fact that I have consciousness, that I'm living my own experience. You know what I mean? You are living the sickest experience possible, bro. And you're at the center of it. You're at the epicenter of it. You're in control. You know what I mean? That's a true gift, man. That's a true gift. No, you can wear a suit and relate to the power now. What you dictate doesn't mean anything, man. I understand what he's saying, but you can wear a suit and do whatever you want, bro. Some cunts wear suits because they love the look. There's nothing wrong with it. I understand what James Joyce meant, though. Basically, what I think he meant was cunts practicing what they don't preach. Shouts to all of you. I just block these cunts, man, you know what I mean? Just because there's no point to have them on the stream, you know what I mean? Like, you can leave them on the stream and say, I don't want to hate on you, I don't want to block you and shit, but it's like, fuck that, you're just being an annoying cunt, you know? Like, just block you anyway. Thoughts on psychedelics. It's a hard topic to touch, man. It's a hard topic to touch, because I don't think something that comes from the floor is bad, brother. And I would never deem anything that comes out of the floor bad. I think people use stuff in certain situations that is a bad reason to use stuff, you know what I mean? I think tools sometimes get misplaced for band-aids, you know what I mean? And so you can extrapolate that to psychedelics, man, you know what I mean? And that's the same thing. Do I ever go through periods of not enjoying weightlifting? 100%, all the time. You know, I don't have to enjoy it all the time to do it, bro. That's the key. You don't have to enjoy it every day you do it. You just have to do it, man. If you recognize that it's important and it's good for your health and it's good for your life, you just do it regardless of how you feel. Shout out to the spam. Anyone who's bought a t-shirt in this stream, you let me know now so I can fucking bless you on camera and then I can bless your shirt specifically. If not, it's all good. If you need a new t-shirt, you know where to get it. Glucose Network Shopify. Hit the spam up. Junior Ryder and Sam, the vegan intense Thailand battle. Yeah, see, brother, I know what you're talking about because people have been letting me know about it, but it's not even worth getting into, man. It's not even worth getting into because that shit's just fucking stupid as fuck, man. Machine Grape here. You got one just then, lad? You fill me in now. You tell me on the size, you tell me on the thing, bro. How did I stop smoking ciggies? I fell in love with weight training, man. I fell in love with weight training and it was a strong enough driver for me to stop smoking cigarettes. Now, I've smoked on and off since then, you know, on and off since then. Every now and again I'd smoke a cigarette, but I just was like, fuck this, why am I ruining my body, man? Yeah, mate, I always shouts to you, brother. What size you get, fill me in. That cloth's gonna take you to the next level, man. That cloth, I kiss that cloth, dude, and I put it in there, and when I drop it off, I give it to the girl, and I think to myself, this is going to arrive in such good form. It's going to touch this cunt's skin, and it's going to bless them. Connor McRen, where, I kiss your shirt, James Joyce, man. Oi, Connor, Ron McNeil, hit Connor up with the spam, brother. Check it out. It should calculate to your currency. What brings me back to smoking ciggies from time to time? Well, I used to come back to smoke ciggies just because I loved smoking cigarettes, man. And now I know it's not a good habit. And you know what? When I was smoking, and none of you guys actually knew this. You know what I mean? Just because I don't really have to hold an image to anybody, really. You know what I mean? But I just didn't want to fucking put it out there, you know, for a while. Before I did my 500k bike ride last year, I was smoking ciggies up until about, like, I'd smoke a cigarette every now and again. You know, for a while, I smoked one a day. You know what I mean? But then when I told myself, I said, I'm doing this 500k bike ride in a month. I'm not going to smoke one cigarette a day, man. Because you know what? Like, it's like anything, bro. You be riding up the mountain and, like, you'll try and shift up a gear, and then in the back of your mind, it's like, that one cigarette's what's in the back of your mind, and you feel like you can't punch through the next door. And I hate feeling limited, man. The only thing I want to be limited by is myself. I don't want to be limited by what I drank, what I ate, what I did this with, you know what I mean? So that's simply why the reason I stopped. And then now, shouts to you, Will Chang, shouts to everybody, you know, shouts to all of you. I really appreciate it. This is a blessed month. I'm just keeping up the team an update. We've actually done really well with this week so far. So shouts to all of you. It's you send me the address, brother. You send me the address and I'll do it. Send me on Facebook. Don't be dropping no addresses on the live stream. Have I seen anyone wearing a Glucose Network tee in public? I think like twice, brother. I was at like a bike event once and I saw a cunt wearing it. I was like, actually, I've seen a few people at bike events wearing it. On the street, yeah, maybe like twice. You know, I'm more cautious. Like, I really don't feel like I want to smoke any, like, you know, back a while ago, I would feel the need, like, I'd be like, oh, I want to have a cigarette, but I'm not going to have one. But I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like I hate the feeling of mistreating my body, man. Like, I just don't like that feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I don't respect it. I love the feeling of respecting, like, the vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. I love the feeling of that. You know what I mean? Feeling like I'm respecting it. You know, and I feel like when I'm not respecting it, I get told, someone lets me know, man, that you're not respecting it. You know? Yeah. Have you experienced an ego death on a bike ride? I've experienced some crazy shit on a bike ride. I don't know if you'd call it an ego death. I know what you mean by ego death now. Like, on a bike ride, kind of. The thing is, I experienced on some bike rides some crazy shit, man, where, like, on long bike rides, you try and enter, like, a Conor McKernan. You enter, like, some weird realms, man. You know what I mean? Where you feel like you're faced with questions that you don't want to answer. You know what I mean? And it pushes you to a level. It pushes you to the last level, dude. And I've had some weird moments riding the bike where I feel like my body will light up in tingles, and you feel like you gain a new level of perspective, bro. You know what I mean? And to really exert yourself to your full potential on a bike ride, your absolute full potential, it's got to be because you want to do it. If your ride is fueled by your ego, there's only so far you can really go, man. There's only so far you can really go before, because it's like a fake thing, man. You know, the ego, for me, ego is like a manifested, created fake thing. It wasn't there from the start, man. So it can't stand the test of the challenge. You know what I mean? So when you're faced with the ultimate challenge, dudes with the biggest egos always buckle, you know what I mean? And you can get pretty far with it, but you can't get as far as you can. So I can come off smoking cigarettes 1 month later, do a 500k bike ride, because it's fueled from the right place, you know what I mean? It's fueled from the right place. You know what I mean? The intentions and the reasons why I'm doing it come from the right place, and that's what I feel like. The bike ride can be a bit of an ego death like that, man. It takes another level, man. And if you got a door, the ego can't punch through the door, man. The ego won't punch through the door for you, man. Shouts to Newton's Law, man. I'm just not a fan of smoking weed, brother. You know what I mean? It's just not a drug. I wouldn't, there's other things I will smoke other than smoking weed, you know what I mean? Whether or not it was put there for me, I'm not sure, you know what I mean? It was definitely conveniently laid out on the footpath for me right in front. You feel at one, bro. You feel centered, bro. You feel, when you're on a long bike ride and you're out there completely by yourself in the middle of the night, and you're scared, and suddenly, like, when you're by yourself, like, I remember riding my bike, man, just after Joey Joey left me. I've really experienced this feeling that only a few times I've been scared but at peace, like almost like I was about to break through a wall, and on the other side of it, it was like a bit more truth. Now what I mean by that is, like, I left Joey, and then I was so fine before when I was riding with Joey. And then it dawned on me, dude, like 50 k's later, I was like, I'm in the middle of nowhere by myself with no bike lights out here in the middle of the night. And that's not scary when I say it now, but for some reason, it became very, very, very scary. Like, extreme. I was comfortable, but, like, I was very overwhelmed, man. very overwhelmed, and it was just like a critical point where I was just like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? You just keep pedaling the pedals, man, and you're here because of yourself. You know what I mean? And you enter this weird real focused realm where like you start focusing on your breath and you feel centered, and you engage another gear and you break through that wall, and then it's like pure bliss. You know what I mean? You know? In your opinion, what are the ingredients in living a fulfilling life? Well, from what I'm doing with myself and what I think, what I think for myself is, I noticed that for me to live a fulfilling life, you know, I know that there's several things, man. Like, it's a combination of a lot of things. For me to live a fulfilling life, I need to be healthy physically, you know what I mean? But like, I realize that my physical health is a product of my mental health, you know, because if I'm not feeling mentally healthy, you know, it manifests in my body, you know. Like, if I'm feeling like a shit cunt and you don't train, well then you get out of shape and you feel slow, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. So I nourish that, you know what I mean? I have great self-talk. I try and be kind even when I don't feel like being kind. I try and be empathetic when I don't feel like being empathetic. I try and like the video when all I feel like doing is disliking the video, okay? You try and give, you try and experience, and then you repeat that fucking process every day in times of struggle, which get them reinforced, which makes you feel content. The bliss is mainly related to the endurance side of the sport. The bliss, we know, bro, the thing is, you get fit and you can put out big efforts, right? And this is all relative to your fitness. When you get fit, you can put out big efforts, but there's a level that only you can engage every so often. And you probably know better than most, man, that there's just some days in your training that when you hit that level, it makes you think after, like, you could get on a microphone and talk for 10 minutes and you'd be like a mouthpiece for something higher than yourself. Like, you would channel a level that you can never often channel. And you sit back and you reflect on it and you say, if I had to train 6 months to get this one day, it was worth it, because this one day was just on another fucking level. You know what I mean? I just think cycling, you know, it's just something I picked up, man. You know, ever since I was a kid, I've been cycling on and off, downhill mountain bike riding. So, you know, it's just what I've been doing, man. You can get the exact same thing out of any sport that increases your heart rate. The thing I like about cycling too is you're outdoors, so you get to breathe fresh air. You know, sometimes I feel like when you lift weights, sometimes like you lose that fresh air element. You know, you can learn a lot from lifting weights. I owe everything to lifting weights. But also I like feeling the fresh air, you know what I mean? Shout out to you, Maz55. Shout out to everybody on the stream today, man. We've been, you know, like, I've been posting about it on Instagram, so a few more of you have been coming through. It's good, man. It feels great to have all of you here watching, talking about it. Just talking about it, eh? It's cool to talk about it, you know, and it's cool to talk about it and not be scared to talk about it. It's cool to talk about it and not come from a place of like, I want to be better than you, that's why I'm talking about it. It's just cool to talk about it and like with a group of people just talking about it, you know what I mean? Jess is sleeping right now, brother. Shout out to you, Pixie's channel. Welcome, brother. I've never thought about a PT as a side job. I never wanted to be a PT, brother, because I felt like I wouldn't be a good PT anyway, man, because I'd be telling cunts shit they don't want to hear. Most people go to a PT. A PT is like a good coach. Like, a PT is like, puts training wheels on you for like a week, or for a month, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, and then he releases you and says, go out, like, do your own thing now, you know what I mean? Like, I've given you the tools that I think you need, and go, you know? Like, I wouldn't want someone to come to me just to get some half-ass workout where they're just distracted by my conversation in my own life. Because most people go to a PT, they talk about their problems, the PT talks about their problems, they do some half-ass workout, the cunt's like, yeah, I'm going to be PTing you for the next 5 years, bring up your calories, 30 calories per week for the next 10 years, give me your money, give me your money. I wouldn't want to do that, man, you know what I mean? it's gracious to see new subscribers, bro, because we don't really get many new subscribers often. So it's beautiful. And I would never want to. I love training, bro. But as much as I love training, I love being in the gym for my brief moment of the day and then leaving. I don't like spending too much time in there. You know what I mean? It loses its value for me. You know, when I'm just hovering around the gym all day, gym. Gym's just a part of my life, man. It's a tool about my life. It's just part of my life. When I leave that gym, I take my gym hat off and I put it down, and I don't put it back on until I'm in the gym again. Yeah, I would feel bad, bro, because I'd just be telling them shit that'd just be too on the money. It'd be too simple for them, bro. People want sexy shit. The thing is about PTing is you have to become, now this is no disrespect to PTs, because there's plenty of PTs out there who do the legit shit and they make hella money and they do a killing, but a majority of PTs, their job is just taking shit that doesn't need to be made sexy, taking it, fucking with it, selling it as some sexy product, because people like sexy shit. If I take a girl or a guy and say, look, bro, I'm gonna put you on this 12-week mass gain fucking program where I'm gonna increase the sarcoplasmic growth of your muscles and like fine tune like the condition of your kneecaps and like, you know what I mean, like grow your soleus 1 inch and like get your posture all upright and increase your prana and your chi, and like they're like, take my money, you know what I mean? Like, because 90% of the time they're in a state where they're desperate and they think that you're actually going to make well, you can make a massive difference, but they're ready to pay up, and that's what you do. So I wouldn't want to be doing that. PT is like a private trainer, yeah, correct, personal trainer. Have you ever cried during a bike ride? The only time I've ever teared up was last time. You know, last time I did a 500k bike ride, I did about 514k's, I think, and it was a blessing bike ride. You know what I mean? Because I was the most unfit I've ever been going into a bike ride like that. I felt spiritually, I felt the best though. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I could give all myself to that bike ride. You know what I mean? But it was hard, man, because I remember like when I left Joey in that town, he was completely fucked, right? But I was in a good state of mind. You know what I mean? Because I had just come off. This dude came up to me when we were eating these chips, man, and he was like to me, there's a once in 10 year storm coming to hit Adelaide tonight, you better hurry up. And I looked at Joey and I was like, we need to fucking leave, dude, there's a storm coming. And it kind of dawned on me for a bit that I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this bike ride. So when I was riding with Joey, I was hammering it real hard, like I was doing like 30k's an hour. I was just going full fucking steam, man, because I was worried, you know what I mean? And then when Joey started to pop, like really pop, like I'm talking like, you know, 16 hours worth of riding pop, you know, like it's a real pop. I had to like deal with, I was like, am I going to leave Joey or am I going to keep going? Shouts to Manir. And I was like, I told myself, I was like, you know what? I was like, I actually don't care about finishing this bike ride. I was like, and I told Joey that when I was at the town, I said, bro, you know, I said to him, I said, I want to finish this bike ride with you. I don't mind if I don't finish it I don't mind if we do it in 24 hours. I don't mind if we don't hit the distance. If you are willing to keep going tonight and you just need a rest for a couple hours, I'll ride. You know, I'll wait for you, I'll ride. Fuck the 24-hour 500k thing. I just want to finish with you because I thought finishing with him would be sick. It'd be a sick experience, you know what I mean? But he was like, nah, bro. He's like, nah, I'm not moving tonight. I'm going to stay the night. You keep going. So I was like, I'll keep going, you know? And then I had a hell emotional fucking wall I had to break through when this storm was hitting me. No lights, it was hard, it was raining, and I was telling myself like, all you gotta do is keep pedaling, you can't control the weather, just keep going. Kept going, the storm ended up getting cancelled, ended up riding on the freeway, got stopped by the police at the top of the freeway about 100 meters from where I got stopped the year before with the police, which is completely my fault because you're not allowed to ride on the freeway, but fuck it. I'll be, you know, fuck the police in that sense because it's the safest freeway to ride on. And then this police dude was like, I told him, I said, look, I got half an hour left. I said, no, I had like 40 minutes left at this point. I said, dude, I just hit 500k's. I got 40 minutes left to finish this time trial. I said, you can write me whatever fine you want to fucking write me, but let me keep going. And he was like, look, I'm gonna write the fine as quick as I can. He was hell quick, and he turned his lights on and escorted me to the Crafers exit. Shout out to anybody who knows the Crafers exit. So he escorted me to the Crafers exit, And I went up the Cravers exit, and the sun was coming up at this point, man. And I bombed down the freeway, and I got to the bottom of the freeway, and I started giggling and kind of crying a little bit, because I was like, it's just fucking weird. It's weird to be in that moment and be like, it's been 20, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it. You never like, it's almost like you forget what's taken place, and you're just there. It's just overwhelming. You're just like, fuck, I'm here now. Like, you know what I mean? So, but then I kept riding, and I got pulled over by another cop, and got fined for the exact same thing. Not having my light, but the sun was already up, and I told the guy, I said to him, I said, look bro, I just copped a fine up the freeway. The dude told me to keep going, and he was like, I don't care what that cop said, I'm giving you a fine for the same thing. And then at that point I was just like, you're a fuckboy, give me the fine. And then I rode home after. I just turned my Garmin off because the 24 hours was up. So tell us something positive to start. I'm overweight, my wife is real worried. You don't need anything positive to start. Like, you just need to start, man. Like, that's not really a sexy answer, but you literally just need to do something, dude. You know what I mean? Anything I say, like, you literally just need to start. That's all you got to do, brother. Right now, you're not even doing that. So it's not about what you eat. It's not about any of that. It's literally just about doing fucking something. Thoughts on homophobia? You know, my thoughts on homophobia is the only time I've ever really cared about homophobia when I was unsure of my own sexuality, when I was questioning my own sexuality. I was a homophobe. I would have been considered a low-key homophobe. But when I came to terms with my own sexuality, I stopped projecting my insecurity of being gay on other people, and there went homophobia. You know what I mean? Cycling's epic, brother. Cycling's epic, especially when the rain hits you. When the rain hits you, you're riding your bike. You're riding your bike, and it's raining. And like, I was riding my other bike the other day doing a delivery. I'm like, I'm getting paid to ride my bike right now in the rain. It's cold. My nipples are hard, and I'm getting wet, and it's beautiful. It's so liberating, man. You know what I mean? The bike can be so liberating. When I was a youth, I started riding a BMX, and then I got into downhill, and then I broke my hip, and then I stopped, and then I came back to it. Yeah, I want to, bro. I mean, I'm gonna do this 24-hour bike ride in 5 weeks. The day after Ramadan, the day after Eid, I'm gonna try and do a 24-hour bike ride to my mum's house, and then we're gonna go travel for about a week or two, film a series. So I'm excited.